How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to another tank review. Today we're going to be doing the Object 7772. So yeah, this should be interesting. It is one of the reward tanks that you can get from the Battle Pass at the moment. Obviously you can get also the Char and the AE Phase 1, as well as the Kunze Panzer and also the K91 PT. But this, the Char and the Phase 1 are all for 9 tokens. So even free-to-play players can get this tank for free. So let's go and dive into Tank GG, and we're going to go and have a look at the stats, what crew skills I recommend, and also what equipment I recommend. And then we'll play a few games in it at the end. Alright, let's go. Alright, so here we are in tanks.gg, the website that I'd recommend everyone to use if you actually want to go deeper into the statistics of tanks. And also get their armor models and stuff like that. Either way, here we are. The 7772, we've got the ST1 and also the Phase 1. Now, the Phase 1 obviously being one of the other tanks that you can pick up from the Expedition or Battle Pass or whatever you got it from. But also the ST1, because Russian, same tier, roughly similar guns and stuff like that. So that should be interesting. Now, straight away, you're going to notice DPM, worst. This thing does not have DPM, okay? It is just awful in DPM. You'll probably struggle to get, like, 3k kind of reliably, like, 3k damage reliably. I think I played, like, 10 games earlier and got around about, like, 2.9, nearly 3k. It just doesn't have the DPM for those fast-paced games, which we're seeing more and more of in this type of, climate that we're in at the moment in World of Tanks. Pen-wise, it's absolutely fine. It's more than enough to deal with most tanks, and you also do get 340 heat. As you can see, 340 heat with 440 alpha, as always. So yeah, that's a nice feature of it, because 340 heat does make sure that you do pen your shots, especially when you're against a mouse or a Type 5 heavy, one of those big super heavy tanks, which doesn't have a lot of armor when you're facing it against heat, but it does have a lot when you're facing against AP and stuff like that, or low pen rounds. Rate of fire, of course, it's not going to be the best, because, yeah, basically this ST1 gets a similar gun, nearly identical in some respects. Obviously with the pen and the alpha is completely identical, but just a faster rate of fire. Reload time 13 seconds. You're just not going to beat a Phase 1 in raw DPM, and you're not going to beat a ST1 in raw DPM. There are very few tanks that you're going to meet in the 7772 that you can actually out DPM, and the majority of them are going to be below you. Now, these do all get a 122 caliber gun, besides the Phase 1, so that is something that you do have up on the Phase 1. You can pen Swedish TDs very reliably. Shell velocity, 940, not the best, not the worst, but I guess it's okay. I mean, it's AP rounds. They don't go super fast anyway, but it's definitely not APCR with like 1.3 or something shell velocity. And you have an ammo capacity of 40, which is the exact same as the Phase 1, but because you do higher alpha, does mean you get slightly higher potential damage from your ammo loadout. Now, for gun handling. Oh, yeah. This is not great, but it's not awful as well. You definitely don't have the aiming time of the ST2, or the ST1, sorry. But dispersion at 0.4 is not nice. Combined with meh kind of gun handling, especially the turret traverse, you really notice this type of turret traverse. Obviously, it's nowhere near as bad as the ST1, but you do notice it. It's like, this is good, and this is just, you're starting to really feel, so you need V-stab, is what I'm saying. Like, you feel it when you don't use V-stab, and V-stab is a #1 kind of thing that you should have on this tank. Yeah, there's just no skipping it, honestly. Gun depression of 6, which is not great, but you are quite a low profile tank, so it's not like you can go and face hug someone and then you can't do anything. Most of the tanks you're going to be smaller than, so you can still face hug and play relatively well, but on a ridgeline, don't take this thing on a ridgeline, okay? Just don't. It's got It's got -6. What are you going to do with that? Gun elevation is the best though, at 18, so there's that. Now, forward speed of 40 along with the ST1, and you do get 5 km/h more than the Phase 1. However, your engine power is worse and your power to weight is worse than the Phase 1. So, albeit it's not that much different. I mean, you've leaps and bounds above the ST1, but considering you weigh less than the Phase 1, you would expect it to have a little bit more engine power. It does weigh 50 tons. This weighs 56, and then the ST1 weighs 61 tons. So, yeah, like it's not the heaviest of heavy tanks, but it's more than manageable. Also, 15 reverse is very, very nice to have, because if you are, playing peekaboo with different tanks around corners and side scraping, being able to reverse out and back forwards is super important, especially in one of these tanks. And I will show you the Armour model in a second, but this thing is very good at side scraping, like very good. And to have that good reverse speed as well really makes it's leaps and bounds better than the Phase 1 at side scraping. The Phase 1 you can't really side scrape in. It just doesn't really work out too well. You have a few weak spots here and there, and if they know what they're doing, you're just going to get penned pretty much every single time in the phase. Whereas this is troll. This armor can be troll, and that reverse speed combined with 40 is nice. Now, terrain resistances are actually very, very nice for this tank. It says something about this tank uses different hidden stats that override the normal values. I have no idea what that means. Okay, zero idea. So I don't know what that is. But these stats are very good. Miles better than the rest of these, as you can see. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. But now, for the armor, one thing I do want to mention is that it gets the middle kind of HP at 1.8, and then, 1,850 is what it gets for HP, which is 50 more than the phase, but also 50 less than the ST1. However, if you do go and have a look at the armor, this is what I mean by when it's side scraping. So if it side scrapes like this, and then it's looking at you, yeah, you can over angle this quite a fair bit as well. So you could over angle like all of this. They are not going to be penning that. Like, it's just not going to happen. And then there's a few tiny pixels here, but even then it's like a 50% chance, even with AP rounds. Against heat, it's a little bit more reliable, but yeah, it's not the easiest thing to pen. You do get either side of the gun mantlet, obviously a little weak spot here. With heat, you'll be able to pen this pretty easily. However, if you use AP, it's not going to be that easy to pen it, is it? And also the top of the tank, it's not overmatchable. However, if you use heat, you can just go there, and there's a slight chance that you're going to hit, something other than the green pen marker. But if you're slightly taller than it, which a lot of tanks are, you can go straight through this thing, just straight through the turret. If you're above this thing, even if it's only slightly like this, you can just go and pen it straight on the roof. But really, I mean, if you can afford to fire heat, then do, because it makes killing this thing a lot easier. Otherwise, you can be really, really badly trolled, because you could aim for here and then suddenly it goes over there, or it goes a little bit to the right and then you're not going to pen at all. So yeah, if you can use heat and you can afford to use heat, then do it. But overall, this thing is very well armored. You can over angle pretty well, as you've seen. Normally tanks will have to be about like this kind of angle to reliably ricochet stuff, but you can go all the way out to about here and you're still pretty good, and you can't get permatracked and do damage unless they get very, very lucky and go through like this. But besides that, this is actually a really, really solid tank all round for armor. You can reverse side scrape if you want to. Yeah, it's got everything. Also, even the back, you're not going to get reliably HE penned, because it's about 60 millimeters thick. There are some parts where you can get penned, but most of it's around about, 60 to 70. And also the back of the turret, 110 roughly. Yeah, like look at that. You're not going to get HE penned unless it's an FE, of course. So yeah, the armor compared to an ST1, I would actually say this is the most well armored tank overall. Turret armor wise is good. It's probably not as good as the Phase 1's turret. However, the Phase 1 does get a pretty troll cupola, and does have the same problems with the cheeks. It's definitely, I would say, the most well armored overall out of these other two tanks. Now, camo values, who cares? It's a heavy tank. You're going to get detected no matter what, right? You're going to go out, and if there's a light tank there, he's going to spot you. So yeah, we're not going to bother with camo. View range of 380. It's not 390. You do sometimes struggle with view range. However, you can still use vents and get some food, and you're more than good enough for the view range then. Fire chance of 15%, pretty good. I haven't been set on fire too many times in this, but if you want to use a fire extinguisher, then go for it. And yeah, that's it. So let's go and quickly talk about the crew and the equipment that I recommend, and then we'll go and get into some games. Okay, so as you can see here, you can also see the stats changing in real time when I actually select all the equipment. So what do I recommend? Well, on the second slot, rammer and V-stab, right? No matter what you choose, rammer, V-stab. Another nice thing about this tank is that it does get a large repair kit by default. It is better than the standard large repair kit because it actually repairs, I think it's 20% rather than, 15% rather than 10% faster. So yeah, this standard repair kit, you don't have to pay for it. It's large, and it will repair your tracks, everything else, 15% faster overall. So it gives you the extra 15% boost to repair speed. Now, for this first slot, you can either choose vents, to which point you're then going to get a slightly more view range as well, and your dispersion is going to be better. All of this is going to be better. Your DPMs are slightly better, or you can choose improved hardening. Now, it's up to you what one you choose. Obviously, you're going to be forsaking some of the view range, so vents will help out everything, whereas hardening is going to improve. You're going to get an extra shot on your tracks, or you're going to be harder to track overall, and you are going to have slightly more hit points, which means that you will have 2k health, which is quite nice to have, especially in tier 9. So let's just leave it with hardening for now, and I'm going to go and move on to the crew skills, and then we'll come back to this, and then I'll show you with the crew skills what exactly the vents makes for the difference. Now, the nice thing about this tank is that it is a reward tank, so you can put any crew members you have from, say, your IS-7 crew, or your 277 crew, 705A, something like that. Any of them you can put in, you can mismatch. You could say, oh, I want the commander from the IS-7, but I want the gunner from my 277, and I want the radio operator from 705A, and then I want the driver from the ST2. You could go and do that if you want to, and it will work completely fine as long as it's the same nation and the same class type. You can put them in here with 0 penalties. You don't have to retrain the crew to that tank. Okay, it's important to say that. It works exactly the same as premium tanks. So yeah, Brothers in Arms for your first one. You're going to want situational awareness. You're going to want recon to try and get that view range up as much as you can. The rest are truly just down to whatever you want. I usually try and get Smooth Ride and also Snapshot, just because they help out with the gun dispersion, especially on this tank. It needs it. But yeah, apart from that, that's it. Like, you could go for off-road driving, and then, all the others are just kind of bonuses, right? One thing I will say is that it's not on here, but Intuition is a very, very, very good perk now. And of course, 6th Sense, right? You want 6th Sense. That goes without saying. But Intuition is a very, very, very good perk now. Especially with this long reload, you can then go and just use intuition, and you'll get your, I think it's around about like maybe 4 seconds or something. You can then just change your ammo type, which means that if you are fighting, let's say you're in a +1, -1 game, where you've got tier 10s and also tier 8s in the game with you, you can then go and keep firing your AP, keep firing your AP. You come against the mouse, you quickly, switch to shell. It will take 4 seconds, and you can just fire, and then you're using heat rounds instead. So that's very, very nice to have. But let's go and see. So as you can see, 408 meters view range. If we use vents, we get 420. So it's down to you whether you think that is worth it or not. If you do have bounty equipment, then obviously the reload time and everything else becomes a lot better. And also the dispersion helps out quite a bit. So if you've got bounty and you like this tank, then go and put it on there. I wouldn't recommend putting bonded on any tank besides like your favorite tanks. But yeah, let's go and play some games now, shall we? Okay, so this is how I have it set up before we go and play some games. As you can see, we do have the standard large repair kit, 15% to module repair speed, which is very, very nice. It will also repair every single module. So it acts as a large repair kit. You don't have to pay for it. It's beautiful. For crew skill wise, we do have Daki in my as my commander. And then we do have, I believe I have intuition on this, right? Yeah, I do have intuition here. So this is everything that I have. If we just lay it out, there we go. That is everything that I have. You can take a screenshot, pause the video, do whatever. They're all my equipment. Well, my crew skills that I have on this tank. There was also, more, but it's the problem with having such a high crew. You can't actually fit it all on screen. So yeah, there you go. For the equipment, we do have vents, rammer, V-stab, pretty standard. We're up to 440 view range. So yeah, sounds good. Let's go and play some games. Okay, so we get Westfield. Oof. It is against tier 8s, so this should be interesting. Of course, we're going to go up to the right-hand side, because why wouldn't we? We're going to battle around here. Hopefully, we can get some action going on. Why is the Conqueror going that way? Wait. Conk? Help?
I need help.
Oh, he's stock. Okay, that's not good. Where is everyone going? Okay, this is not the best. Let's see if we can get some use out of this. There's one arty. This really isn't great. But I can't push this, and I need to hold this. Like, we've got plenty of TDs back here. All that I really need to do is just hold. Oh, he actually hit that. Okay, well, everyone's penning me, which is lovely. It's a problem with not having gun depression. That bounces? Okay, whatever you say, game. Sure thing. Oh. Maybe we can get a bounce. Yeah. Lucky. They can just push this without any issues. So annoying. I need to try and set them on fire if I can. RT. Okay, well, I'm gonna die now, but... get lucky again. Now? I don't know what he's doing. Lucky. Okay, this is what I mean, right? We switch to heat. Go back.
Watch out! Retreat!
Oh, buddy, what are you doing? This is not how you grind your stock Conqueror. It should be relatively hard. Okay. You know what, we'll go back to AP. Relatively hard for the arty to hit me down here. So we'll just wait a few seconds and then proceed again. Can load HE and then go for this guy. Of course it misses, because why wouldn't it? This guy I can pen. That's a lot of damage, okay. I bet you he's enjoying himself. But even though we've got no gun depression, we're still making this work at the moment. Try and get out of the way of Artie. So I don't know when he's going to be ready. Just play it a little bit patiently. It's annoying that a Conqueror's dead. It's annoying that our Conqueror was stock. Imagine if our Conqueror wasn't stock and he could have just played this ridgeline, or even that ridgeline there, just farmed them. Would be quite nice. Maybe we can kind of move around here? I don't know. Go back to AP. We didn't actually get spotted for that. Overmatch. Clearly he doesn't know about that. Try and hide from artillery as well. Get down into the dip. Okay. Now, what I want to try and do is go this way round. We might be able to even spot the 432. Just depends where he's gone to. I kind of need this CS to come up here and not get sucked in, because there's going to be a lot of people getting sucked in here now. I mean, we should be winning this game anyway. I could die to Artie here. Not actually spotted. There's the 432. We get spotted, which means that he is still here. Artie's dead. Okay. I don't have to worry about Artie now. Ah. He's moved. That's not what TD players do. TD players don't move. He has better, okay. He does have a better rate of fire than me, but he doesn't know this, apparently. So, that went well for him. And now, hopefully, we can finish this guy off. 2 seconds. We get a ram? Oh. No ram for us. Oh well. Alright, that was a good game. Yeah, pretty much everything that you need to know about this tank. It's good at side scraping, it's got good armor, especially when you over-anger it and bait some shots. We should have died in the start though, right? We should have been dead. Alright, well, we get ace tank, nice. 4.5k, 2.3k assistance as well. We can apply that, very, very nice. Yeah. It's not an easy tank to ace. I think this is around like 1.35 you need it to ace or something. But yeah, it's a decent game. 4.5k. Did we get any? We got 3 kills. And we made money, although we did complete a mission reward and I got a clan booster on. So yeah, that was a decent game. Let's go and play one more game and then we'll wrap things up, shall we? Alright, we get Prokhorovka. Yay! Don't we all love Prokhorovka? Alright, we are in middle tier matchmaking, so +1, -1. Nice little tier 8s in here. We've also got some tier 10s. Yeah. Not going to be a very, very exciting game, let's say. 1 RT as well. Now, I would normally go to the middle and try and snipe some people. But one thing that recently has happened... Oh, wait, didn't I have... Oh, okay, no, wait. You know what? I read this completely wrong. I was going to say, one thing that recently happened is that the light tanks just become idiots and just keep facing this. And my team never hit them. So, yeah. But since that's not the case, let's go back to the middle and try it. Because the mid is actually really, really powerful. Especially if you can kind of situate yourself where you're out of the actual spotting distance of anyone on the hill, but you're within the render of the hill, because then you can snipe them. Although sniping with this tank, not the easiest thing to do, right? So, something like this. You just sit around here. You can also get some nice shots onto anyone over this side as well, if you need to. So, let's see what we can do. It's 277 pushing up. Nice. Nice first hit. And look, just look at them all. Very nice. There is 1 artillery, so we do need to be careful with that. It's annoying that I read it completely wrong at the start, but it's fine. We didn't really lose that much for it in return. And you just sit here and just farm, honestly. It's not a complex strategy, let's say. We predicted his movements and got rewarded for it. Okay, good start to this game. What is this guy doing? Artie's over that way. See, we can't over-peek this either. If we over-peek this and we go over this hill, we get shot from anyone that's camping at the back here. So we need to be careful. He's dead. What you can do to get a little bit more spotting and just assistance in general is actually push this bit here. Like this. Ooh, wait. That's annoying. You can actually push this bit here and go into these bushes. I was going to do that, but since these are still here, I don't really want to do that at the moment. And then you'll be able to spot anyone around here as well, which is quite nice to have. You know what? I will actually do it. Stop being so complacent, Max. Either do something or don't. Noob. They're going in. This is good. Okay. I want to, like, try and get one shot into this guy at least. Alright, that works. Go hold down. As you can see, we're getting nice amounts of spotting damage. Well, we've got a little bit. We'll repair the gun as well. Unlucky, actually. A little bit unlucky with RNG there, but it wasn't exactly an easy shot for us to be able to hit. We do need to be careful, one, of the 113, and two, anyone else that's really camping at the back here and to our left. We put one in and then we just reverse instantly. E50 is here. He takes 700 for his troubles. Okay, and now this side is complete, so we don't have to worry about this anymore. If they push up, they'll get spotted by these two, so we don't have to really worry about that. And although we're 2 tanks down, we are actually in a better position than the enemy. Loading heat for the 113. There's a Foch B that could be a big issue for me. Okay. Well, I wasn't predicting that the 113 would come back. But he has. Angle. I'm going to go for the easy shot instead. Whatever you say, game. Alright, try and side scrape here. We know that our side is very strong. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. That's... okay, that's actually very annoying. That helps. The 263... probably in this bush here. Didn't see a splash. Alright, what we'll do now is progress forwards a little bit. The char shouldn't be here. The char's probably backed off all the way over here. E50 is running away as well. But what I hope to accomplish here is to be able to spot the 263 if he fires. Artie's still in play though, which is very annoying. I'm going to try and make him a little bit paranoid. Go on, someone fire at me. Not the Artie though, okay? It's cheating. I told you not to fire. S1. If the S1 doesn't fire back at me in a second, then I know I hit him. I hope I'm hitting some of these blinds. It'd be nice at the end of the game. I'm going to try and keep blind fire in the S1 because I know I can pen him. Too high. If I go this side, maybe I can be able to spot them, like when they shoot. We have enough shells. And it's only AP rounds. So we might as well just blind fire. Didn't go where I wanted it. I'm gonna back off. Because Artie's gonna fire again in a second. 263's moved all the way around. Okay. Let's try and push this way. Foch B still hasn't been spotted. I mean, I was hoping that would hit the RT. Goodbye, Mr. Artillery. I'd like to thank Wargaming for adding the tracers. Oh my... Kill it! Oh my god. I wasn't expecting him there. Oh, okay. Hopefully he died. Oh, it's not gonna die. Oh well. Yeah. I'll tell you the truth. I didn't expect the Foch B that close. I was going to tell the FV just to proxy that, and then Artie can kill him. But that was a decent game. I'm happy with that. So we got, what, 6k combined? Probably a little bit blind damage as well. And we got the most dangerous tank out of the game, being the Foch B. Oh my god, no, that was like a jump scare. He appeared out of nowhere. I wanted to try and get behind the E50M to cover my lower plate, and it worked, but I mean, the Foch just moved around. Oh, hello. Oh, he's enjoying himself. What even is this? Oh, if we had blocked a little bit more and survived, we probably would have done that. I mean, missed. Oh, God. Oh, my... Bat chat? Really? Oh, God. Alright, well, it's going to end in a draw, unfortunately. 4.3. So, who did we end up hitting? We hit this guy, obviously. We hit the S1 once. Did we hit the 263? No. We ended it with 3.6, right? So there was 2 blinds. Oh yeah, 1 there, and then obviously the RT. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Decent. Decent game. It's a shame that it was on Prokhorovka because it's a camp fest. So yeah. Without battle payments, so obviously the clan boosters, we would have probably lost money. We would have gained 1k. But I am using food and stuff like that, so that has got to be taken into consideration. Anyway, overall, 2 games, 4.4k, which is very, very good for me. Yeah. This tank isn't bad. It's just... the phase 1 is better, right? You got to see kind of me getting very lucky in the first game where they didn't kill me. Although we tried to angle our way out of it and it did work, but it's still getting lucky to a certain degree. This isn't a bad tank. It's not... out of the 3, it is the worst though. So if you haven't got any of them, get the phase 1, and then you can decide out of the char or this tank which one you want. But yeah, this tank is nice. I do like it, even though that it's not statistically very good. I don't know. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this tank review. If you learned something or just found it useful, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it does all help me out greatly. And yeah, let me know down below what you think about this tank, and I'll see you all in our next tank review next week on Tuesday at roughly 5 o'clock UK time.